Chosen one, listen closely. This is not a coincidence, and it is not your imagination. What you are about to hear is a divine message, perfectly aligned with your spirit. God knows the weight on your heart, the questions racing through your mind, and the temptation gnawing at your soul to walk away. Today's message is clear. Chosen one, God warns you. Don't you dare give up on that person. You are standing in the middle of a war far bigger than your pain, your doubt, or the heartbreak you have endured. That person you feel like giving up on is not a mistake. They are a divine assignment placed in your life to awaken your spirit, sharpen your purpose, and amplify the light you were born to carry. Never give up on them, because destiny is far greater than confusion, and your calling is far stronger than your struggle. Chosen one, let us go deeper into the truth of who you are. You did not stumble into this word by chance. This is a divine message that has reached you in perfect timing, in perfect alignment with your spirit. This is God's warning, and also His reassurance. You are not imagining the weight of your journey, the loneliness you feel, or the unusual battles you face. You were called, and because of that calling, your life has been marked since the very beginning. The chosen ones are not ordinary. They are awakened souls, carriers of light in a world that often prefers darkness. From an early age you felt different. You questioned things others ignored. You saw truth in places where others only saw distraction. Your path has never been simple because it was never meant to be. Spiritual awakening is not a gentle invitation. It is a fire that consumes the illusions of the world and forces you into the reality of your divine calling. That fire has been burning in you for years, and though you tried to deny it, it never let you go. This is why you feel misunderstood. This is why your struggles seem heavier. This is why you feel constantly tested, constantly refined. God's warning comes to those who carry extraordinary assignments. The chosen ones live through trials not because they are cursed, but because they are trusted. You are tested in ways others are not, because your endurance, your faith, and your strength must be proven. Every rejection, every betrayal, every season of silence has been shaping you into someone who cannot be broken by the same forces that consume others. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. The divine message for you is that the fire you are enduring is not meant to destroy you, but to purify you. The chosen one walks a path that is often lonely because not everyone can understand the weight of carrying a light that exposes hidden things. You have likely been misunderstood by family, by friends, by people you thought would stand with you. Yet even in those moments your spirit knew there was something more. That more is your divine calling, the higher purpose that set you apart. You are not like the crowd because you were never meant to blend in. You were designed to rise, to stand out, to lead with the authority of heaven. This is why relationships for you are not simple. They test your endurance more than anything else. They mirror your wounds, they reveal your weaknesses, and they force you to grow in ways comfort never could. Relationships in the life of the chosen one are spiritual assignments. Some come to strengthen your path, others come to test your patience, and a few are sent to refine your destiny. It is in these relationships that you experience the temptation to give up, to walk away, to close your heart. But God's warning comes today to tell you that not every difficulty is a sign to leave. Sometimes the struggle is proof of importance. Sometimes the warfare is confirmation of the bond. Never forget, the enemy fights hardest where the greatest destiny lies. The chosen ones are warriors of the unseen. The battles you face are not only emotional or physical, they are deeply spiritual. You have been called into a war that most people are blind to. The war is real. Every doubt, every fear, every attack is meant to silence your light. But your light is necessary. Your endurance is proof that you are not like the rest. God's message to you is this: the very things that tried to break you are the signs that you carry unshakable power within you. You were never meant to collapse under pressure. You were meant to rise through it. Chosen one, hear this again. You are not imagining this battle. You are not imagining your calling. This is confirmation. You are set apart because heaven has assigned you. Your life is a living prophecy, and your perseverance is a divine key. The loneliness you feel, the pain you have carried, and the misunderstandings you endured are all part of the process that proves your authenticity. Others may not see it, but the heavens know your name. So let this truth burn in your spirit. This is not just a word of comfort. This is a God warning for you not to give up, not to doubt the process, not to dismiss the importance of what you are carrying. You were chosen, and that truth cannot be erased. You were called, and that calling cannot be revoked. Stand in your authority, rise in your light, and remember this: the war is real, but you are not alone. The divine message is clear. Your light is necessary, your destiny is unshakable, and your endurance will open the doors that no man can shut. Chosen one, listen with the fullness of your spirit, because what I am about to reveal is not ordinary knowledge. This is a divine message, a God warning delivered in perfect timing to your life. You are not imagining this word. You are not imagining the struggles you face in love, in friendship, in family, and in every connection that matters to your soul. This is confirmation that the battles in your relationships are not accidents. They are tests, they are assignments, they are refining fires that God Himself is allowing to prepare you for destiny. The war you feel is real, and it is tied directly to your calling. God often chooses to refine the chosen ones through relationships. He does not shape you in isolation alone. He shapes you through the people He allows into your path. Some of these people are blessings wrapped in joy, but others are blessings wrapped in trials. Sometimes that one person who frustrates you, who tests your patience, who triggers your deepest wounds, is the very person God is using to grow you into your full spiritual power. This is why you cannot measure a relationship simply by how it makes you feel in the moment. Comfort is not always confirmation. Resistance does not always mean rejection. God's warning today is this: do not be so quick to give up on the person who carries the divine key to your growth. Think about the difference between temporary connections and spiritual assignments. Temporary connections come easily, require little effort, and leave no lasting mark. They are surface level, and they fade with time. But spiritual assignments come with fire. They demand endurance, forgiveness, humility, and strength. They bring out both the best and the worst in you because they are designed to mirror your hidden wounds and force you into healing. That one person you are tempted to walk away from may be your greatest mirror, the one God is using to refine your character and sharpen your faith. Chosen one. Remember the story of Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, thrown into a pit, and sold into slavery. Joseph had every reason to give up on the very people who caused him pain. Yet, in the end, it was through that betrayal that God positioned him for greatness, and it was through forgiveness that he restored his family. The very hands that hurt him were the same hands God used to fulfill the promise. Imagine if Joseph had allowed bitterness to consume him. Imagine if he had given up on the people God had chosen to be part of his destiny. His story would have ended differently. The message for you is clear. What feels like resistance today may be the foundation of your victory tomorrow. Consider also the story of Ruth and Naomi. Ruth's decision to stay despite loss and hardship was not easy. She could have chosen a more comfortable path, but her loyalty bound her to a divine assignment. That relationship brought her into alignment with Boaz, into covenant with destiny, and into the lineage of kings. God warns you in the same way today. There are some people you cannot give up on because your staying power is connected to generational purpose. Forgiveness, too, is part of this test. Jesus himself taught us that forgiveness is not optional but essential. Peter denied him 3 times, yet Jesus restored him and entrusted him with the mission to feed his sheep. That was a divine assignment, rooted not in perfection but in grace. Let us a divine assignment, rooted not in perfection but in grace. Relationships in the life of a chosen one often demand this same grace. They call you to forgive when it feels impossible, to trust when it feels foolish, and to endure when it feels unbearable. This is not weakness, chosen one. This is strength in its highest form. This is strength in its highest form. God's warning is not to confuse divine testing with abandonment. Heaven has not abandoned you. Heaven is equipping you. Chosen one, you must see beyond the surface. That person you are tempted to let go of might be the very one who holds the key to your destiny. They may be the one sharpening your patience, the one exposing your pride, the one teaching you endurance. You prayed for growth, you prayed for purpose, and God answered by sending someone who could stretch you in ways you never imagined. This is why you cannot despise the process. The divine message is clear. Resistance is not always a sign to leave. Sometimes resistance is the very force that shapes you into the vessel God designed you to be. God warns you today, don't you dare give up on that person, because what seems like resistance is shaping your destiny. The enemy wants you to walk away too soon. The enemy whispers that it is easier to quit, that you are wasting your time, that you deserve comfort instead of refinement. But heaven whispers something different. Hold on. Endure. Trust the process. You are not imagining the weight of this connection. It is spiritual, it is intentional, and it is necessary. The war in your relationships is real because your light is necessary. The enemy knows that if you endure, if you forgive, if you stay faithful to the divine assignments God has placed in your life, you will rise into a level of power that cannot be stopped. Your relationships are not just about love or companionship. They are about destiny. They are about legacy. They are about aligning heaven's will on earth. This is why the battle feels so personal, because it is personal. The enemy fights hardest where the greatest blessings live. Chosen one, hear me again. This is not just a word of encouragement. This is a divine message, a prophetic warning, and a call to endurance. You are not imagining the tests you face. You were called to walk this road, and your calling demands more of you than it does of others. That is why you are tested harder. That is why your heart feels heavier. But you cannot give up. You cannot walk away from the person God is using to refine you. You cannot let the pain blind you to the purpose. Endure, chosen one. Forgive when it hurts. Stay when it would be easier to leave. Listen when it would be easier to close your heart. Remember this truth. God warns you because He loves you. He is not trying to break you. He is building you. He is not trying to rob you. He is positioning you. The war is real, but so is your authority. The fire is painful, but so is the blessing powerful. This is the truth you must carry. You were called. You are not imagining this. Your light is necessary. That person you are tempted to give up on may be the very one who unlocks the next level of your destiny. Stand firm, hold on, and remember always, God warns you, don't you dare give up on that person, because your endurance will shape not only your life but generations to come. This is your divine message. Receive it, believe it, and walk in the fire of your calling. Chosen one, let us speak to the deepest part of your heart. You know what it feels like to give everything and still face heartbreak. You know what it feels like to pray for answers and be met with silence. You know the sting of betrayal, the weight of abandonment, and the crushing loneliness that makes you wonder if your journey is even worth it. This is where the temptation to quit becomes strongest. This is the place where your soul whispers, enough. I cannot carry this anymore. And yet, here is the divine message. You must not surrender. This pain is not your ending. It is part of your purification. You cried, you prayed, you even questioned God's plan. You asked, why me? Why do I suffer like this, when all I have tried to do is follow the light? And in those moments, the enemy tried to convince you that God has forgotten you, that your prayers are wasted, and that walking away would bring you peace. But hear me clearly, this is a God's message delivered in perfect alignment to your soul. You are not imagining this calling. You were chosen, and the weight you carry is not punishment, it is preparation. The temptation to quit often comes at the peak of pressure. The fire feels unbearable, the silence feels endless, and the betrayal feels final. But the truth is this: the closer you are to breakthrough, the more violent the storm becomes. Chosen ones are not refined in comfort, they are refined in fire. Pain is the tool that strips away illusions. Betrayal is the force that teaches you discernment. Silence is the test that strengthens your faith. This is why God allows these seasons not to crush you, but to make you unshakable. Consider Jesus in Gethsemane, praying in agony, asking the Father if the cup could pass from him. He felt the weight of pain, the sting of abandonment, the silence of heaven, at the very moment he needed strength. Yet he endured, and through his endurance, salvation was released. Chosen one, your struggle is not meaningless. Your pain has purpose. It is teaching you endurance, it is deepening your faith, and it is proving your divine calling. You see, when you feel tempted to give up, it is not just about the person or the situation in front of you. It is about the greater war for your destiny. The enemy wants you to quit because he knows the light you carry is necessary. If he can break your will, he can delay your purpose. If he can fill you with doubt, he can weaken your voice. But this is why God speaks today with urgency. Never give up. This is not just advice. It is a divine warning. The war is real, but your spirit is stronger. When betrayal cuts you, remember Joseph, sold by his brothers, forgotten in prison, yet destined for a throne. When heartbreak crushes you, remember David, hunted by Saul, misunderstood by his own people, yet crowned as king in due time. When silence terrifies you, remember Job, stripped of everything, mocked by friends, yet restored double by God. Each of these chosen ones faced moments where quitting would have seemed easier, but their endurance transformed their pain into purpose, and so will yours. The temptation to quit whispers that leaving will heal you, but quitting only prolongs the cycle. The divine message is that your healing comes not from escape, but from endurance. Every tear you have shed is watering the seeds of your breakthrough. Every unanswered prayer is shaping the strength of your faith. Every night of silence is pulling you deeper into trust. Never give up, because the fire you are in is the very fire that will reveal your unshakable foundation. Chosen one, I know your struggle feels unbearable. I know you are tired of waiting, tired of hurting, tired of carrying a weight that others cannot understand. But listen closely, you are not alone. Heaven sees you, angels surround you. God has not abandoned you. He is purifying you. This pain is your training ground, not your grave. This doubt is your classroom, not your defeat. The divine calling on your life is too great for you to surrender now. This is your confirmation. You are not imagining this. This is real. You were called. The war is fierce because your light is necessary. The very fact that you are hearing these words now is proof that God has aligned this message for you. This is His reassurance that you are on the right path, even when it feels unbearable. Do not quit. Do not walk away. Never give up. Chosen one, lift your head, wipe your tears, straighten your shoulders. You are more powerful than you realize. The same God who called you will sustain you. The same God who allowed this fire will deliver you through it. The pain will not last forever, but the strength it produces will remain for eternity. You are chosen, you are called, and you are necessary for this time. So hear this as your final reminder. This is a message from God. You are not imagining. You were called. The war is real, but so is your authority. Your light is necessary. Do not let heartbreak define you. Do not let betrayal silence you, and do not let silence break you. Rise, endure, and walk forward with fire in your spirit. This is your divine message. Never give up. Chosen one, listen closely. For what I am about to tell you is a divine message, a God warning meant to shake you awake and anchor you in truth. This is not your imagination. You did not stumble here by mistake. You were called to hear these words, because the weight you are carrying and the decisions you are about to make are not small. They are connected to your destiny, and God in His mercy never allows a chosen one to abandon a destiny connection lightly. When your heart is tempted to walk away, when your spirit feels like surrendering, He sends a warning, not to punish you but to protect you, to correct you, and to redirect you back into alignment with His higher plan. There is a spiritual law written into the lives of the chosen ones. You are not free to live carelessly, because your life carries too much weight for eternity. You are not free to give up on people and assignments that heaven has tied to your purpose. Others may walk away easily, but you cannot. Others may cut ties without consequence, but you will always feel the stirring of conviction in your spirit, because your steps are ordered. This is why God sends warnings. They are reminders that your journey is sacred and your choices cannot be casual. A God warning is a gift, though it does not always feel like one.
It comes when you are ready to break.
When you are tired of forgiving, when you are done carrying the burden of someone else. It comes in the form of conviction, in the form of a word like this one, in the form of signs and confirmations that you cannot ignore.
It is God's way of saying, stop.
Breathe. Look again. Do not give up so quickly. Do not let pain blind you to purpose. It is heaven's intervention to keep you from destroying what you were called to protect. But let me be clear, chosen one. This divine message is not telling you to hold on blindly. God is not calling you to remain trapped in cycles of abuse, manipulation, or destruction. No. The warning is not about tolerating bondage. The warning is about discerning the difference between toxic cycles and holy assignments. A toxic cycle drains your spirit, silences your voice, and pulls you away from God. A holy assignment stretches you, refines you, and draws you closer to Him, even when it feels painful. This is the difference you must learn to see. Not every struggle is holy, but not every hardship is evil. That is why discernment is critical for a chosen one. When God sends a warning, He is asking you to look deeper. Is this pain a tool of purification, or is it a trap meant to destroy you? Is this resistance shaping your destiny, or is it keeping you bound in cycles that kill your spirit? The Spirit of God within you will reveal the truth if you are willing to listen. And here is the confirmation. If God is sending you a warning, if He is stirring your soul with conviction, then there is still purpose tied to that connection. There is still something you cannot abandon yet. This is why you are hearing these words right now, in this moment. Chosen one, remember this. The enemy always fights hardest against divine assignments. He knows that if he can fill you with bitterness, if he can convince you to quit, if he can cause you to mislabel a holy assignment as a toxic one, then he can derail your destiny. That is why God steps in with urgency, sending a warning to remind you that not all battles are meant to end in separation. Some battles are meant to be endured because they birth transformation. Some relationships are not meant to be broken but to be refined through fire. Think of Moses and the Israelites. God warned them repeatedly not to abandon his path, even when the wilderness felt unbearable. They were tempted to return to Egypt, tempted to walk away from the promise, because the process was painful. But those warnings were acts of mercy, pulling them back into alignment with destiny. The same is true for you. The warning you feel now is not rejection, it is mercy. It is heaven shouting, "Stay alert. Do not abandon what I have assigned to you." The process hurts, but the promise is still ahead. And think of Peter. He denied Christ 3 times, but Jesus sent a warning beforehand. "Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times." That was not condemnation. That was preparation. And even after Peter's failure, Jesus restored him because his assignment was not over. The warning preserved him, so that when the time came, he could rise into his calling. This is what a God warning does. It keeps you tethered to purpose when your flesh wants to give up. Chosen one, let me speak this plainly. This is your wake-up call. Do not give up just because the process is painful. Do not confuse temporary discomfort with permanent defeat. You are not imagining the struggle. You were called into this fire because your light must be proven. The war is real, and yes, the weight feels unbearable at times. But this is how destiny is forged. God is saying to you now, hold on, look again, pray again, endure again. Do not abandon what I am still using to shape you. This is why he sends the warning, because he knows your heart, he knows your weakness, and he knows the enemy's plan. He knows that your flesh wants escape, but your spirit knows endurance is the key. He knows that if you quit now, you will forfeit blessings that your pain is preparing you to receive. This is why he interrupts your path with words like these. It is not to shame you, but to strengthen you. Not to break you, but to protect what is sacred. Chosen one, you are not like the rest. You cannot make careless choices. You cannot walk away from destiny assignments without consequence. And God loves you too much to let you. This is not just a teaching. This is a prophetic word, a divine message that you must carry in your spirit. Do not mistake this warning for coincidence. You are hearing this because heaven aligned it for you. So hear me again, and let these words sink into the depths of your being. This is a message from God. You are not imagining. You were called. The war is real. Your light is necessary, and this is your wake-up call. Don't give up just because the process is painful. Endure, trust, obey, because what lies ahead is greater than what you are suffering now. The warning is proof that heaven is invested in your future. Receive it with fire in your heart and rise into the fullness of your divine calling. Chosen one, lean in now because this moment is sacred. This is not just another teaching or another passing message. Oh, this is a divine message, arriving right on time in perfect alignment with your spirit. You have been praying for clarity, searching for signs and questioning why one person keeps showing up in your heart, even when you tried to walk away. God's message to you right now is this: you are not imagining it. You were called. The war is real. Your light is necessary. And part of that light's training is learning to recognize who is sent to you by heaven and who is simply passing by. Recognizing the divine assignment in that person is not a guessing game. It is a sacred discernment. This is about the divine calling that rests on your life and how God's warning comes to protect you from discarding what was meant to shape you. When you are a chosen one, you do not just have casual connections. You live inside a spiritual battlefield where every relationship has a weight, an energy, a purpose. Some are distractions, some are lessons, some are divine assignments. And when God places a person in your life who carries a piece of your destiny, their presence will stir something deep within you. Sometimes joy, sometimes pain, but always growth. This is not an ordinary bond. This is a covenant, a sharpening of iron against iron, and it will feel different from the noise of the world. That is why you feel a pull you cannot explain, a conviction you cannot ignore. This is God's message to you. Stop doubting what your spirit has already discerned. Recognizing the divine assignment starts with peace. Peace is the first whisper of heaven. Even when circumstances are chaotic, even when conversations are hard, there will be an underlying peace that keeps drawing you back. The chosen one walks by that peace, not by appearances. Another sign is repetition. God does not leave his chosen ones confused forever. He confirms through patterns, through scripture, through dreams, through words that seem to echo from multiple directions. Pay attention to these prophetic whispers. When the same message rises again and again, do not give up on that person. That is not coincidence. That is God's warning. But you must also know the difference between a divine assignment and a toxic cycle. God's message is never an excuse for abuse or perpetual destruction. The divine calling never asks you to lose your soul in someone else's chaos. Instead, it calls you to grow, to forgive, to mature, to be sharpened. Ask yourself, is this person sharpening my soul like iron sharpens iron? Or are they dulling my light and feeding my despair? God will never bind a chosen one to a chain meant to destroy them, even to destroy them, but he will place you in connections that refine you, stretch you, and prepare you for the destiny you have prayed for. Chosen one, your heart already knows the answer. You have cried about it, prayed about it, tried to shut it off, and yet it returns like a tide. This is God's message. This person may be your divine assignment, your partner in destiny, the one who carries a key to a door you have yet to open. Their presence might be uncomfortable because it confronts your old self, but that discomfort is the pressure of transformation, not the poison of destruction. The divine calling is always bigger than your feelings. It is about purpose, covenant, and the shaping of your soul for the war you are in. When God is teaching you discernment, he will not only show you the signs of who is sent, but also train your spirit to listen. That is why you keep hearing this call, because you were called. The war is real. Your light is necessary. Do not walk away just because you are tired. Do not give up because you do not yet understand. Sometimes the person God assigns to you is like the wilderness for Moses, like the shaping fire for David, like the sharpening of Peter before his ministry. You are not just loving a person, you are touching destiny. So pause, breathe, ask the Holy Spirit to reveal the truth. Look for peace, listen for repetition. Trust the prophetic whispers. Notice how this person is challenging you to grow, to forgive, to rise higher. That is what a divine assignment does. It pulls the chosen one into alignment with their calling. It will not always feel easy, but it will always point you back to God. And now, as you hear these words, remember where we began. This is a message from God. You are not imagining. You were called. The war is real. Your light is necessary. This is your wake-up call to recognize the divine assignment in that person. This is the time to lean into discernment, to stop running from what heaven has confirmed, and to stand in your power as a chosen one who carries the fire of destiny. Endure the process. Trust the divine message. Never give up on the person God is using to shape you, because on the other side of this test is the strength, the wisdom, and the love you have been prepared to carry. Stand firm, stand faithful, and let your light burn brighter than ever. Chosen one, hear this truth with the fullness of your heart. This is a divine message sent in perfect alignment to your spirit. You are not imagining it. You were called. The war is real. Your light is necessary. And if there is one thing that separates the chosen from the rest, it is endurance. The power to hold on when everything in you wants to let go. The strength to stay when the storm rages. The faith to trust God's warning that says, never give up, because the breakthrough is nearer than you think. Endurance is not easy, but it is holy. It is the fire that transforms pain into wisdom, trials into testimony, and struggle into authority. The chosen ones are not crowned in comfort. They are crowned in perseverance. Your spiritual awakening does not happen on mountaintops of glory, but in valleys of tears where you refuse to surrender. Every time you chose to keep walking when your heart was broken, every time you prayed when your voice was weak, every time you stayed faithful to the divine connection, when doubt was screaming in your ears, you were being transformed. You were not just surviving, you were awakening. This is why the enemy attacks your endurance so fiercely. He knows that if he can get you to quit before the breakthrough, he can steal the fullness of your destiny. That is why the pressure feels unbearable at times, why betrayal cuts so deep, why silence feels so heavy. The enemy's strategy is to wear you down until you give up. But God's message comes today with fire. Never give up. You are closer than you think. The pain you feel now is the labor before the birth, the crushing that brings forth the oil, the breaking that produces the blessing. Endurance is what unlocks your authority. Every time you refuse to give up, heaven records it as a victory. Every act of faithfulness builds your spiritual strength. When you endure, you are not just proving something to yourself, you are proving something in the spiritual realm. You are declaring to every power of darkness, I may bend, but I will not break. I may weep, but I will not surrender. I was called, and I will endure until I see the promise. This is how chosen ones rise into their true authority. Their endurance becomes their weapon, their consistency becomes their crown, and their unwavering faith becomes their testimony. Chosen one, staying faithful to the divine connection God has given you is part of your transformation. That person who tests you, sharpens you, and stretches you is not a mistake. They are part of your training. By not quitting, you are proving that you can handle the weight of covenant, the discipline of forgiveness, and the responsibility of love. Endurance in this connection is building you for greater things. If you cannot endure here, how will you endure the greater assignments waiting for you? This is why God sends warnings. This is why He tells you not to give up, because your staying power is directly tied to your spiritual awakening. Remember the story of Jacob wrestling with the angel. He endured through the night, refusing to let go until he received his blessing. That endurance changed his name, his identity, and his destiny. The same principle is at work in your life. God is allowing this struggle not to punish you, but to transform you. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of pressing on when you wanted to quit, is reshaping you into who you were always meant to be. Chosen one, hear me again. This is not just a battle of emotions, it is a battle of destiny. If you quit too soon, you forfeit what is already yours. If you endure, you inherit the blessing that was reserved for you. The divine message is clear: never give up. The breakthrough is not coming from comfort, but from endurance. And here is the beauty of it: endurance leads to awakening. When you pass through the fire and still hold on, your eyes open to new dimensions of God's presence. You begin to see clearly what others cannot. You step into authority that cannot be faked. You speak with a voice that carries weight in heaven and on earth. This is the fruit of endurance. It transforms you from a wounded soul into a warrior of light. Chosen one, as you hear this now, circle back to the truth. This is a message from God. You are not imagining.
You were called.
The war is real. Your light is necessary. Do not let the enemy trick you into quitting before your breakthrough. Stay faithful, hold on, and walk in the strength of your endurance. For it is through endurance that you will awaken, through endurance that you will rise, and through endurance that you will see the glory of your divine calling manifest. Never give up. because your transformation is already unfolding. Stand strong, carry the fire, and let your endurance prove that you are truly chosen. Chosen one, hear me clearly. Even when your heart feels heavy, even when the silence seems endless, even when it seems like the world has abandoned you, heaven has not. You are not alone. Every step you take, every tear you shed, every moment you wrestle with doubt, there are angels assigned to you, unseen forces working tirelessly to guide, protect, and strengthen you. This is a divine message, delivered directly to your spirit. You were called for such a time as this, and you are never walking alone. The chosen ones are never left to carry their burdens by themselves. God surrounds you with help that transcends human understanding. Sometimes it comes in the form of people, other times through signs, dreams, or a quiet whisper in your spirit. There are divine confirmations embedded in your journey, guiding you to stay the course even when everything around you encourages surrender. You are part of a spiritual family, a network of unseen support that aligns perfectly with your destiny. Every struggle you endure is witnessed by heaven, and every act of faith is recorded as victory. God's message today is clear.
Hold on.
Do not surrender. You are closer than you think. The war you feel is real, but so is the power that backs you. The pain, the doubt, and the trials are not signs of abandonment. They are part of the refining process. Even when you feel weak, your endurance is being strengthened. Even when you feel unseen, your faith is building authority. And even when you feel like giving up, your light is necessary for the unfolding of divine plans that only you can fulfill. Chosen one, take courage. You are not imagining this calling. You were called. The war is real. Your light is necessary. God's angels, God's guidance, and God's strength are with you every moment. Trust that what feels impossible now is the very thing that will become your testimony. Do not underestimate the power of divine backing. Do not doubt the authority of the path you were chosen to walk. So rise, chosen one. Let this divine message ignite the fire within you. Feel the reassurance of heaven's presence and allow it to lift your spirit. You are not alone. You are protected. You are guided. You are destined for victory. Hold on. Remain faithful and know with unwavering certainty the breakthrough is near, the assignment is sacred, and your light will shine brighter than ever. Chosen one, hear this now with the fullness of your spirit. God warns you. Don't you dare give up on that person. This is not a suggestion, it is a divine command, a God's message delivered in perfect timing to ignite your faith and awaken your destiny. The path has been long, the trials intense, and the pain real. But the breakthrough is closer than you imagine. Do not surrender now. Do not turn away from what heaven has assigned to you. Your endurance, your patience, and your faith are being recorded in the spiritual realm. This divine message is not just a word for today. It will mark your journey forever. The moment you choose to hold on, to forgive, to persevere despite the doubts and the wounds, you align yourself fully with your spiritual awakening. The war is real, yes, but so is your light. You were called, chosen one, and your presence in this world matters more than you have been led to believe. Every challenge you face, every resistance you encounter, is shaping you into the vessel God designed you to be. Do not allow temporary discomfort to make you forget your purpose. This is your wake-up call. The person God placed in your life may be the very one carrying keys to your destiny, mirrors to your soul, and lessons that cannot be learned in any other way. Heaven speaks to you today with urgency and love, reminding you that walking away now would be to abandon a part of the covenant that was divinely orchestrated for your growth, your strength, and your future. Chosen one, receive this final instruction. Comment 777 if your spirit resonates with this divine calling. Let heaven confirm to you through your own action, that you recognize the truth of this message. Let it be a seal upon your heart, a testimony in the spiritual realm, and a declaration that you will not waver, that you will not quit, and that you will honor the divine assignment placed before you. And now I release this prophetic blessing over your life. May your relationships be restored according to God's perfect plan. May your heart remain steadfast in faith and resilience. May every divine connection be a source of growth, empowerment, and destiny fulfillment. May your light shine in every darkness, your voice carry heaven's authority, and your steps be guided by the Spirit in every decision. Chosen one, walk forward in courage, walk forward in fire, and walk forward knowing that the God who called you will never let you go. This is your divine message. This is your time. Never give up.